right, welcome everybody. The Sourcepass community is out again in full force. If you are here to learn about Microsoft Planner, you're definitely in the right spot. So welcome everybody. Always great to see the turnout that we get here. It seems like word of mouth has been catching on, and these learning series webinars are really becoming more and more popular. So thanks for being here, and I'm glad that we're able to add some value to what you do day in and day out. If you've been here before, you know that I'm Alan Bauman. I'm your host today. I'm also here with Jolynn Reen. Jolynn is instructor extraordinaire. We've yet to find the limits of her knowledge around Microsoft 365, and I doubt that we'll find the limit of that today. So I always think of Microsoft Planner as one of those apps that people have heard about and maybe haven't used. And I would suspect that we have some folks in the audience today that maybe haven't actually used Planner. That's great. You know, this is a good spot for you. If you have used Planner, you may find that this session will help fill in some of the gaps for you. That's usually the case. So always looking for your feedback. We're always interested in your questions. If you do have questions today, as always, use the Q&A function of the at the top of your screen. That's the best way to communicate them to us. We will definitely get through all of them by the end of the session. If we have to stay a little bit later, we will. So this session today is part of the Sourcepass learning series. This is really about the day-to-day stuff that you use. It's 365 tools, it's cybersecurity, things to make you more productive with what you do every day. It's open to everybody who is a Sourcepass client. And I would also add that if you want to share this with friends, colleagues, others who you think may benefit, feel free to do that. Your friends are our friends, is like what we like to say. Registration is at the Sourcepass website, which is just sourcepass.com. We do have a second webinar series, which is our digital transformation series. The focus of that is a little bit different, more about new ways of using technology, best practices, things like backup and disaster recovery, or ways to use tech that you may not be using now. So check those out too. Those are again open to everybody. At the end of the session today, we've got a list, I think, of the upcoming webinars, so we'll preview that a little bit for you. If you're not able to, or if your colleagues are unable to attend this session, I know that we have a training library now on our website, which allows you to go back and revisit all of this stuff. Included with that is also a workbook. Jolynn always produces a terrific workbook that's sort of a companion to the webinar. So that's all available on the Sourcepass website. And I think that's all I have. So Jolynn, I'm going to kick it over to you.
Sounds good. Thank you so much, Alan. And welcome everybody to our session on Microsoft Planner. I am really excited to actually talk to you about Planner today, not only because it's something that I use on a daily basis, but the connectivity that we have with all of our other 365 apps is unbelievable. And you're going to actually see a lot of that here in our session today. Now, you've probably heard, if you haven't, this will be new information for you, but Microsoft Planner has actually made a lot of updates here since the first of the year. Most of the changes have actually come since May, June, and even here into July, we've had a few changes happen to the application. So I'll show you what those changes are today. But keep in mind that some of the changes that we have, that I actually have listed on the slide right now, you do have to have another application to have access to some of this. So I'll get into a little bit more of what that means and what that includes for you. What do you get by default with 365, or what do you have to have extra, a license for extra for different features? But some of the new things are going to be in Microsoft Teams. So there's been a few enhancements in the regular Planner application, which is what I'll start with today. But then I'm going to transition over to Microsoft Teams and show you how Planner has evolved. So Planner now has the capability of working like a project management software. So there used to be a separate app for Microsoft Project, which is now part of Planner. So Project and Planner work together as long as you have the correct licensing through Microsoft. It will include now task history, so we can see a history of the information on tasks that have gone back 2 months, 3 months, because sometimes we're working on projects for a long period of time. It also has baseline features built in, which is super exciting. I always save copies of baseline so I can do comparisons with variations from, this start date, it changed to this start date, so we have a variation of 2 days. It does all of that now. So we don't have to go someplace else to have the capabilities of an actual project management tool. It's a lot more than just a task list these days. Also, Copilot is a part of Microsoft Planner. Can't live without Copilot these days. So I'll briefly show you where that is located at when we are in Microsoft Planner. But also just to kind of let you know, when we talk about the rollout of this, everyone should have the latest for Microsoft Teams for the Planner feature directly in Teams, but the rest of the updates aren't coming for a few more months. They say that they're going to be available fourth quarter, so kind of I'm expecting them around the end of October-ish is when they'll start being released. They don't get pushed out to absolutely everybody at once. It is kind of done in groups, so watch for those to come. So if you see that a new feature is added, or that you can slide an icon over to say you want to use the new planner, definitely do that. You definitely want to have the latest and greatest of what's to be available. So with that being said, I want to show you Microsoft Planner. So what I'm going to be starting in, and let me slide my screen over here. So what I'm going to start in is really the online application of Microsoft Planner. Microsoft Planner is different than the Microsoft To-Dos in the respect that To-Dos are more of a personal application where you can create a task list for yourself. What Planner does is creates individual plans that are for you and other people to work with. So it's a way that we can create a plan, give it a name, and then that plan can be available multiple places, as you'll see here today, because we can open it from different areas. I can open it from this online app, or I can go to Microsoft Teams. I even have access to specific tasks that I'm assigned to in To-Do. I'll show you how all of that connects together. Now, of course, other things are going to connect as well. SharePoint connects, Outlook connects, lots of other apps connect directly with Microsoft Planner, including Project Online, which is, of course, like I said, now it's the Planner Online with Project built in as the background. They technically call it a premium version, but we'll get to all of that. First, I want to start with, this is what you see when you come into the online app. This is called the Hub. It's got a navigation pane on the left-hand side, otherwise known as a menu bar. On the right-hand side, of course, it's going to start out in the Hub by showing you pinned tasks. So, or I should say pinned plans that hold the tasks. So what that would be beneficial for is if you have an active project that you're working on right now, and it's something that you're working on every day, you might want to have it pinned at the top of this list so it's easy to get to. Otherwise, down at the bottom on the right-hand side, these are all my recent plans that I have, and you can see like this one called Help Desk Tasks. That's actually coming from an IT department help desk. What that is actually related to is a team in Microsoft Teams called IT department, and then it's in the channel called Help Desk. So some of these are going to be directly stored just in Planner. Some of these are coming from SharePoint or Microsoft Teams. So planners can be physically stored and accessed from different places. So we can start here and then use a plan in Teams or SharePoint also if you want to. Otherwise, we can just utilize it directly from here. So just so you see on the left-hand side, if I click Assign to Me, It changes what you see on the right-hand side, and this filters based on the user that is logged in to just show tasks coming from multiple plans that they are assigned to. And that's one of the benefits of using Planner, is because we work as a group together to complete a project, and the individual tasks get assigned to one or more people. So if you kind of think of how you manage a project, you know, if I'm going to build a new office building, or we're going to come up with a new way to process our invoicing, we want to do a new employee onboarding, whatever your case would be, we store the tasks and then assign them to other users. These users then can filter the list to just see what they are responsible to do. So I can see that this is coming from my help desk tasks, and here's the task that I need to complete. This is one task with multiple steps to it, which I'll break this down in just a second. But just so you can see, I've got buckets. Columns are called buckets, and this is a not started bucket. This is an in progress. So these are the tasks that are in progress, the ones that haven't started yet. And then the ones that have already been completed are in the last bucket on the right. So just so you're noticing also at the top, it does say assigned to me, so it knows my user account. And then I'm on what is called the board view. So we have different views depending on how I want to see things. And because I'm just looking at my information, my tasks, these views will stay just my tasks. If I do grid view, it will give you columns and rows of all the tasks. If I click charts, it actually gives you a dashboard look, giving you the status, the priority. It's got the planned tasks. So you can see anything that's in red is overdue. So it helps to very quickly and easily visualize what's going on. Also, I have the schedule view up at the top, which is actually a calendar that helps me to know during which week, which tasks am I actually working on. So right now, during this whole week, of the first week of July, second week, and part of the third week, I'm working on ground clearance, but then I have an overdue task that is create a workflow for IT. So that's overdue. I know that because it's red. If I click on it, it will open up the details for that specific task. You can see different information like which bucket it's in, if it's already in progress, priority. I can put in notes. It has a checklist down at the bottom because those are the individual things I need to do to complete the task. So if there's any project managers out there in the session today, I do a lot of project management. I teach project management, the PMP certification courses, but when it comes to managing a project, we always think about the WBS, the work breakdown structure, and we have deliverables. That's what this technically would be, is this is going to be our WBS. And then it's broke down into deliverables, work packages, and then the activities themselves. That's exactly how Planner works. And you're going to see how it even does it with being able to create relationships. So you're going to have your dependencies and all the normal things that we use with project management as well. But this part of the application as of today, which is July 10th, 2024, just so everybody knows, it is only going to give us these types of features in the app online, not the full project management features just yet, but we have those in Teams. So anyway, just so you could see what this looks like as of right now, I'm going to just close this. By the way, any changes that I would have made would automatically be saved because this is 365 and it is online. So it's just like an Excel workbook and a Word document automatically saves. So let me go back to the left-hand side of the screen. So right now I was filtered on assigned to me. On the left-hand side, I'm going to click new plan, so that you could see how a new plan actually gets started. So let's say that your group of people were just assigned to do a new project. You're going to be working on a new process for doing inventory. You could use a blank plan to get started, or you could actually start with any of these templates. They are going to be adding more templates as time goes on, but these are the templates we have right now. So if I wanted just a simple plan, I could click that tile. Or if I wanted employee onboarding, just so you can see, if I click on any of these, it doesn't take you directly into a new plan. It's going to show you what it's going to give you first, which it gives you a graphical background to it. It's going to give you different buckets already created, and it's going to include some tasks based on the type of template. I'm going to actually use this as an example, and on the right hand side, I'm going to give this a name, and I think I'll just call it ABC Company HR Department. I'll abbreviate on some of this. HR Department Employee Onboarding. Kind of a longer name, but it describes what it is. If I wanted to connect this with an existing Microsoft group, I could, because then everybody that was a part of that group would be a member of this plan, but I won't do that. I'm just going to click create. Once I do that, it's going to automatically create the plan. It's going to create buckets automatically for me to help me organize. The buckets are like your deliverables. So I have the name of it up at the top, and then you can see I've got a bucket that is post-offer acceptance, technology, paperwork, orientation, feedback. So each column is a separate bucket to organize the tasks. And then each task that they assume that you would have based on this template is listed underneath. Now, of course, you would come in and you would add in or make changes to the other tasks. So let me just kind of show you the workflow of how all this goes together. So if I open up this task called Set Employee Start Date in System, when I open this up, I'm going to click Assign, and I'm going to assign it to myself. Then I'm not going to put in any other, well, maybe I'll put in a little bit of detail. I'll put in when this needs to start, what is the due date, and then I'm just going to click close. But just so you can see, it's got some suggestions on attachments that I could use based on recent files. I'm just going to close it, and it updates my information. But it did a little bit more than that. It actually notified me that I was assigned to this task. It will give me a link to this plan. So if I didn't create the plan, I was just a coworker, and it would automatically notify me, and now I have access to this plan from multiple places. I can access these quick. Ellen, go ahead and let me know what that question is before I go any further. How can Planner be used to manage assignments with external partners? Great question. Let me show you that. I'll answer that by showing you. If I go to assign and I put in an email address of somebody that is outside of my domain, like this is my Gmail account, it's going to come in as a guest automatically. So it's similar to other kind of permission levels. We have owners, we have members, and we have guests. Guests are going to be people outside of your domain, unless you, of course, your IT department adds them to your domain, then they would come in as a member. Otherwise, the person that creates it is the owner. Members are going to be other people within your domain. So let me assign this. So it's going to tell me, because this is somebody that has not been a part of the plan yet. Anytime you add somebody new to an assigned task, it brings this up. And it says, do you want me to assign this task and add the user as a guest or a member of the plan? I'm going to say yes, go ahead and assign and add this person as a member. Now I'm going to go ahead and close this. So now that generic user of mine, my Gmail account, is now assigned to that task. They're going to receive an email message. They'll have a link to get into that task and the planner itself. So they all have rights to see the planner, just so you're aware of the permission side of this. So when you go to create a new plan, use a template or start from scratch and just build your own buckets and add in your own tasks. Okay, then you can come back, or the assigned person can come back and make changes to the tasks as you need to. I won't get into any other details on that right now, just so you're kind of seeing that that's how initially it's going to work. But I do have the views at the top, like I showed you a minute ago. So this is a brand new plan I just created. I have grid view, I have charts, I have schedule, but there's other views that are available if you are going to be connected with project based on your licensing, just so you're aware. So I love the fact that each of these views, and as you get more and more comfortable with them, each gives you something a little bit different, okay? Depending on what it is that you're looking at. If I wanted to add people as members of this plan before I assign them to a task, I can go to the top right of the plan, click members, and then type in the names of the people that I want to add in. So I just add in my users, whether it's going to be internal or external people. And as I do that, then I can go to other tasks. Like if I go to the send direct deposit forms, if I want to assign this to student 1, I just added them as a member to this, it automatically will assign it to them. So that user, of course, just got notified that they were assigned to this task. And the best part about all of that, by the way, is we get a lot of notifications. We'll get a notification that we were added to the plan. So when I added student 1, they've been added, they'll get a notice letting them know for every task that they get assigned to. They'll be prompted with that. They also will be prompted when they have tasks that are coming up that are due. They will also be notified when they have tasks that are late. I like those. I need those reminders. But to be honest with you, I'm in Planner every day. So I always know what needs to be coming up. And you're going to see some major changes to this application when I go into Microsoft Teams. So as of today, this is the online app. Just to remind you, this is going to change, but the functionality that you're seeing right now is going to stay. Okay, so is there a way to notify the person who gave the task that task is completed, or share update comments made on a task directly via a notification? Absolutely. There are several ways that that can actually be accomplished. Whole nother session to talk about workflows and how we can be setting those up. We can actually have a notification go to specific people every time there's a change on a task. Or as soon as it's marked completed, we can have a workflow that sends an email to this group of people, whether it's the owner or whoever. It doesn't even have to be somebody that's a part of the plan. It could be somebody outside of the plan. So a quick answer is definitely, but it takes a little bit more than a quick answer for that one to show you how that all works. But I want to just kind of finish up in this online app here real quick. So back on the left-hand side for a minute, these are where my pinned tasks plans are. I keep saying tasks, but I mean plans. So these are my pinned plans. One is coming from a team in Microsoft Teams. It's called Accounting Department Accounts Payable. I have another plan that is coming from a SharePoint site called Clinic, coming from the General channel. So just so you know, these two that I have pinned here in Planner are actually coming from Teams and SharePoint, but they used the Planner app. So they all work together. We don't have to be in just one place. We can be multiple places and utilize the same things, which is part of why I love 365. I know I get so excited about these things, but this has been things that I wish I would have had 20 years ago. Alan, another question?
Yep. Question is there a way to notify the person who gave the task that the task is complete, or share update comments made on a task directly via a notification?
So is there a way to notify the person that gave the task, so the person that assigned the task? That I don't know. Let me think that through for a second. I'm trying to look at Microsoft workflows to see if that was an option. Can it know who actually assigned it? Because technically, anyone can assign it. It does know who's assigned it, to be honest. You know, I think the answer is going to actually be yes to that, because and this is all going to be done through, you know, automated processes through a workflow with Power Automate. Um, so I'm trying to visualize the window, but I'm pretty sure the window actually has a unique ID that it knows, because this is a database in the background. It knows who the person was that assigned the person to that task. So I'm going to guess that the answer is yes to that. It would take a little bit further to kind of look at the workflow windows to get that completed, but I think the answer is yes. Okay. If memory serves me on the window that I'm visualizing. So good questions. I like hearing this. So I want to just kind of finish up a little bit on the left-hand side. On the left, I see this all category where this is going to show me every plan that I have access to. Now, I have a lot of plans. You won't end up having probably this many plans, but well, depending on what you do. But a lot of these are test things that I've done throughout different sessions. So this isn't my live stuff. I can't show you my live stuff. But anyway, just so you can see, this is what we have right now. Also, as I am adding members, owners, or guests to this plan, their profile circles are showing up at the top right, just so you get that visual of what's happening. But I'm actually going to leave this, and I'm going to actually jump over to Microsoft Teams, because Teams is where a lot of this is going to be happening. To be honest, I don't go to Planner online. I don't really use it that way. Could I? Yes. And I think I started more so that way. But as of today, I'm usually in Teams. So the first thing that I want to mention about using it in Teams is it's new. It is the brand new version of Microsoft Planner. You have two different ways technically that you can access a plan through Teams. One is go to the menu bar on the left-hand side, and I'm going to add the shortcut directly to Planner. So I'm going to click on View More Apps. I'm going to click, and notice the icon is different here. I'm going to click Planner. This is going to take me into the brand new version of Planner, different than the online version. So just to refresh your memory, this is what the online version looked like. This is what we have now in Teams. So it's going to be a little bit different on that left-hand side. What you're actually seeing on the left-hand side is we have a new icon. So when you see this new icon, the old Planner icon is green. That means that you have the older version of Planner. This one is the new one, only available in Teams as of today. The My Day is actually a feature coming from Microsoft To-Dos. So if you've been using Microsoft To Do at all, you have My Day. My Day is a way for you to figure out, what do you need to do today? It clears itself out at the end of every day, because this is focus time, which Microsoft is very big into focus time right now. And they want you to be able to focus on, these are the tasks I need to work on today. So we can go to an existing task, whether it's a personal task or one that you've been assigned to from a plan. You can add it to My Day so that you can have a list of, this is what you're going to work on today. Okay, so I'll add some onto this so that you can see how they'll show up. On the left-hand side, there's My Tasks. My Tasks is actually going to show you the filtered list of tasks that you are working on. There's different choices going across the top on the right-hand side. By default, it goes to the category called Assigned to Me. What this is referring to is every task that you're assigned to coming from multiple plans. So once again, it's a filtered list of tasks that you need to work on, no matter where they came from. So you can see in this plan column gives you the name of the plan. And so I know this one's coming from a SharePoint site, these are coming from a Teams site, etc. So it's got different columns of different information. And the best part is you can edit that information directly here without having to open the task. So if I wanted to change the priority of something, I just go to the priority column, click on the drop down and choose the priority status. Or I can go to in progress, or, oh, by the way, the quick look. It reminds me that in Microsoft Project, the desktop version, they have this indicator column. That's what this quick look is. Quick look is a look at things that are happening in the background of the task. So the icons represent different information about the task. So I can click on a task to open it. Oops, sorry. Oops, sorry. I just marked it as completed instead of opening it. I meant to click my pencil icon. I'll come back and talk a little bit more about that. For some reason, I marked that one as complete, so I'll get back to it. But just so you could see, this view that I'm in right now is just the ones that are assigned to me. I'm going to go to the top and kind of work through this a little bit. Private tasks are the tasks coming from Microsoft To Do. So if you create a to-do list of things that you personally need to do that you're not sharing with other people, this is another way to access those. We also have flagged emails. So if you're a flagger in Outlook, it's going to show up here. So if you flag an email in Outlook, it automatically is filtered into this group as well. So I can see I've got this one about this reward for this pirate adventure. It was due back in April. If I mark it as completed, it checked the flag as saying I completed it. So I don't have to go back to Outlook, find the email and mark it there. I can do it directly from here. So once again, anything that's red is letting you know it's overdue. But also back at the top, I have an all category. The all category is going to show you every task in any task list, whether it's a private task. So in the plan, it's going to say if it's coming from to-dos, if it's going to be a flagged email, or if it's coming from a specific channel or SharePoint site. So pretty cool that we have a nice view of everything that you personally need to work on. So if I go to my plans is once again going to be a list of just the plans that I am a part of. So if I need to do something in any of these plans, like this AP task, I can click on it. It's going to open that plan without me having to go to the team, to the channel, and then click on the tab at the top to access it. It's all right here instead, quicker to get to. But you can see that I have a to-do bucket and I have a clear the ground bucket. All three of the tasks that I actively have in here right now are actually all overdue. So I need to make sure that I come back and clean those up. But when you go to add a new task in, all you have to do is click add task for the bucket that you want it to go in. If I just click add task, it's going to ask me to give the task name. So let's say that I need to set up utilities, and then I'm going to put in a due date of the 29th. If I wanted to assign it to somebody, here's a list of existing members. If I add somebody new that is not a part of this already, it once again will ask me if I want to add them. I'm going to assign it to myself. And then I'm just going to click on this blue bar behind here for add task. So now this setup utilities is located here. Let's follow that task for a second. So just to remind you, I'm in this AP tasks and I added in this setup utilities. I'm going to go to Outlook. There's my Outlook. I almost lost my icon there for a second. So let me come into Outlook and kind of show you what's been happening back here in my Outlook. So here I joined that group because I created that new plan. So it gave me an email letting me know that. Here's some examples of the other notifications that you're going to start to receive. So we have, this one's letting me know that I have a task that is due, gives me a link to the plan. I can see the due date of it. Otherwise, I can see here's some upcoming task notification. Here's some late task notifications. So you can see these are the types of notifications that you will receive. But also, I'm going to go to do here from Outlook. When I open this, I can go directly to Assign to Me. I'm right in Outlook, I'm in To-Dos, and I can see Set Up Utilities, which is coming from the AP tasks. So I don't have to be in just one place to have access to the things that I need to work on. If I'm in Outlook, I can do it there. If I'm in Planner online, I can do it there. Or if I'm in Teams, I can do it there. I can access it anywhere. So, and by the way, I also have it on my phone. Can't live without having it on my phone as well. So just so you're kind of following that task, set up utilities from the AP tasks, because I'm going to jump back into Microsoft Teams. In Microsoft Teams, if I want Planner to stay on the left-hand side to be available all the time, I can right-click on it and pin it, which I typically have it there. Every day I'm in here. But also, if I go to Teams in Microsoft Teams, I also can access that planner that I just showed you. It's in my accounting department team in the accounts payable. And if you look at my tabs going across, here's my AP tasks. This is a task list that was directly created in this channel of this team. And we gave it a name, and whoever is a member of the team has access to this task list, to this planner. So once again, here's that set up utilities, and I can see that it's assigned to me. If I want to make changes to it, all I do is click on it. It opens up the window to give me options for making changes to it. Whether I want to say it's in progress, I want to change the priority, I'm going to put in a start date, I'm going to change the due date, whatever, I'm going to type in notes. Down at the bottom, one of the cool things is a checklist. So if to complete this task, I have multiple things I need to do, like I need to talk to IT, I need to run a current report. I'm going to put in all these individual things that once all these individual things are done, the whole task will be completed. I could attach files, etc. But when I'm done, I can just click off that. I don't even have to close it. I just click off it. All of those steps that I just put in for this task are now visible here within this view that is called board view, just so you know. So if I completed the run a current report, I can click the circle in front of it. It marked it as completed. It removes it from my view because I don't need to see things that I've already done. But of course, it's still available. If I open the task, I can still see it on my checklist, but it's crossed off because it's finished. So I really like the way that it is now set up. Makes it super easy that when we are in a planner within Microsoft Teams, this is the views, this is the wave of the future for this application called Microsoft Planner. So love having that capability. It works extremely well. So lots of ways to get notified. We organize things into buckets. You can add a new bucket at any time by going to Add New Bucket. You can give the bucket a name, phase 1, phase 2, whatever your case would be. You can click and drag and move tasks from one bucket to another. Because sometimes when we build a WBS for a project plan, we put everything in to do. Once we start to know these tasks are all related to this, we can move them into that bucket. Or create the bucket right away and create the tasks right in the bucket. It's your choice. However it works for you to maintain how you want to have things visible. I love the views we have available. So once again, we still have the views with the board view, grid view, schedule view, the charts, all of that will be the same in this plan as well. So this is how it could work in Microsoft Teams, in a team, in a channel. If you go to a channel and want to create a new plan, you don't have to go to the Planner app to do it. You would come directly here into the channel, go to the plus sign at the top of the tabs, and then choose Planner as the app. You'd give it a name all those typical things that it needs. If you wanted to use an existing plan, you could. Otherwise, you create a new one and give it a name. You want your plans to have a name that is unique and a way that you're going to be able to identify what it is. Because once you start to see all of your plans that you personally are a part of, the better the name, the easier to identify which plan it is. Okay, now I'm not really going to add another one, but I just wanted you to see how that happens. So that's a little bit on how that part works. I'm actually going to go back to Planner on the left-hand side, because this is the real application that I want you to be most comfortable with, because the other planner from online is going to change to the way this one works today. So just so you remember, if I go to a task, like I'm going to go to this setup vCIO workflow, I'm going to go to the ... on the right hand side, which is a quick menu instead of having to open the task itself, where I could assign someone. I could even copy the task, which is a new feature that we did not have before. I can copy a link to the task and share it with somebody else, and they become a member if you do that, by the way, to that task. We can move the task to a different plan if needed, or of course you can delete it. So just so you can see, there's a nice quick menu without having to open the full task itself. Okay, so let me jump back to the list of my tasks. So this is a list of the tasks that I personally have to work on. So these are the things that I need to be working on. I have this one here called Hire Now for Warehouse. I'm going to go ahead and, sorry, let me click off there for a second. I'm going to go to the menu on the right-hand side, the ... menu. And I'm going to add this to my day. So when I looked at all the tasks that I have going on, this one is overdue and I have time today to work on it. So what I want to do is add it to my day. Once I do that, that task is now available in that category on the left called My Day. So when I click on it, I can see Hire Now for Warehouses here. It's going to give me that list of all these different features related to that task. If I need to go to a menu to get more options, like copying it, moving it, or even if I want to open the full details for it, we have access to being able to do that. I don't have to go to where it's originally stored at, because that could have been in a SharePoint site. It could have been in a team channel. It could have been anywhere, but I have quick, easy access to it directly from here. Love that. But once again, if I wanted to make any changes, of course, I could make those changes and either just click off or do the X at the top, and it would automatically save any changes that I had done. So the importance of this My Day is that you add tasks manually to this My Day if you want to work on them today. But if you put something in your tasks and it's scheduled for today, so if you actually put a date on it that you're going to, when you create the task, if you put that it's due today, it's going to show up in My Day. It automatically will do that now in this updated version of Microsoft Planner. So that's actually a great way to kind of work with those types of features. So lots of different things are changing in that respect. But I want to actually take you down to creating a new plan. So on the middle part of the window in my planner, I'm going to click at the bottom here on New Plan. What this is going to show me is templates. And notice there's more templates right now in this new version. I had mentioned that they were going to be adding in more templates. They're going to continue to add in more templates, just so you know. This isn't something that is one and done, of course. They will be continuously making changes to this, just like anything else that they have. But on the, oh, and I wanted to answer that question real quick. If you have an employee who leaves and is replaced, is there a way to find the task in the former? Yes, there is. As a matter of fact, that's where your system admin comes into play, because all these planners are stored in your system admin area. So we can actually go back and change who the owners are directly through there, just so you know. I'm sorry, I I didn't see that right away, that message there. So back to this new plan in the new planner through Teams. On the right-hand side here, if I look at all these different plans, I could start with one of these templates. But what I want to show you is this premium. So what this premium is if you have a license, and I think I should actually go back and show you. Let me show you this. Microsoft Planner. Let me show you Planner plans. I forgot what the title was. I want to see the different, oh, here. So this is going to show you a list of what is included. So this website, which I should actually copy and put into the chat here for everybody. I put that link in the chat for everybody for this because this is going to let you know what's included with just Planner, which is free through your 365. If you have Planner Plan 1, which used to be Project Plan 1, we have a Project Plan 3, which is changing its name to Planner, Project Plan 5. It's going to show you what's included with each of these. So as I kind of scroll down, you can see the side-by-side comparisons of what you're going to get depending on which of these licenses you have. So just be aware of that. So let me jump back into the plan I was just creating. And once again, I'm creating it based on my Microsoft project licensing, which I have Plan 3, just so you're aware. I'm going to give this a name, and let's say that I'm going to be creating a new workflow for HR. If I wanted to pin it so that I have quick, easy access to it all the time, I'm going to add pin. If I wanted to have it be a part of an existing group, of course I could. I could choose whatever that group is. I won't choose that right now. I'm just going to click create. So it's automatically going to give me a new plan that I have access to, and you can see it automatically added it to my pinned area, but it's going to create that plan, and now I can come in and create buckets. I can create the tasks that need to go in them, but based on my licensing, I'm also going to be able to create dependencies. I'm going to be able to use things like lag and lead. We're going to be able to have a custom calendar. So these are things that we get in addition to the normal planner things. If you have a license for more of the project management side, you will be able to have additional things. Sorry, it's actually taking a couple of minutes for this one to build. I should have gone into an existing one. I apologize for that. So just so you know, it's automatically creating that for me. And when it does that, I can actually get a new menu that is going to allow me to have timeline views. I get different views going across the top. I'll have Gantt chart options. I will be able to do my dependencies, so I can do a finish to start to start, etc. I'll be able to do lag, so that if we have a delay from one task finishing before the next one starts, all of that is going to be now built in if you have the correct licensing through Microsoft. I am so sorry this is taking way too long. For some reason, that window was kind of stuck there. But let me show you how, yes, Ellen.
So while we're waiting here, Jolynn, just another
Yes.
question here, and this is kind of general. So the question is about using the @ sign symbol next to somebody's name, and if that's possible in Planner like it is in other project management software platforms.
So I was just going to demonstrate that for you. I was going to put it in the name of the task here. I can't put it in the name of the task. As you can see, I just typed in this task name. I'm going to go into assign to, so I can assign this task to myself because I'm the only person so far. I'm just going to put in some details on this just real quick here. I'm going to put in a duration of 10. It automatically does days, just like Microsoft Project does. If I wanted it to go in a specific bucket, I could, but I am in grid view. So as I keep adding in tasks, just so you can see, it didn't do anything with the @ mention. As soon as I did the @ symbol as of today, but I have read that that's coming. When we're putting in notes and stuff, we can be they say in the future we're going to be able to use an at mention in the notes area. I don't think we'll ever get it in the title of the task, but I did read that it was coming in the notes area. But let's say that I have another task that needs to be done. And I'm just going to generic this for a minute here. I'm going to add in another task just to make a quick couple of tasks in here. It's giving it a unique ID number, just like Microsoft Project does. But the difference here is going to be, I can actually go to one of these tasks, click on the menu, and I can make it a subtask of the task above it, you know, to create the WBS hierarchy, as you can see. So now it indented it under there. I'm going to make this a subtask. If I want to make it a subtask of that subtask, we get 9 different levels of being able to do that. It is actually amazing. So just so you kind of are seeing different ways that we're going to be able to organize these. So I can promote it. As you can see, there's a lot of different choices here, but I'm going to go ahead and open up the details. The details open on the right-hand side. I can click assign to assign this to a specific person that is a part of the plan. It automatically adds that information. I can put in whatever the duration is going to be. If I've been working on it and I have percent completes, we can be entering those. Choose a bucket. We also have sprint capabilities in here. We could be doing task checklists, you know, just like our steps that we have. We also are getting effort showing up. Just like with project management, we're going to be able to see effort options. If I want to add a dependency, I click add dependency and I can search for which task I want to actually have it be a dependent of. So this task is now dependent on this task. So we have a start to start relationship automatically. I can attach files and all that other information. But now if I go back to this task, so now I can keep adding in all these tasks and updating their information over on the right-hand side. So this is giving you the full capabilities of being connected with a full project management application. Notice the views at the top. We get our standard grid view, board view, but we also get a timeline view. So if you're familiar with other project management applications, we still get charts. I love the people capability. People capability allows you to see tasks related to the person that is the resource. We can even filter by keywords, which is fantastic. Because of the licensing that I have, I also have goals. So I can actually say that I have a goal for this project of this. I won't get into all of that. That's advanced information, but I also can get into assignments. Assignments is more of a project management tool as well, where I can see the total effort based on each of the tasks. It actually reminds me of the resource task sheet view, which is available in Microsoft Project Desktop. That's what this reminds me of. So I can see on the right-hand side, and I'm super excited about all this, by the way, because I use Microsoft Project all the time, and having that here is unbelievable. So I can see based on each day, when I look at this right-hand side, I can see how many hours I'm supposed to be working on something on a specific day. And we could do that with any of the people that are assigned to the tasks within that project plan. So we are getting that full capability with an extra license. Keep that in mind. But for, you know, normal plans that you're going to be using, you may not need all of that. You may not need that full project management functionality. Most of the projects that I'm working on right now, I'm good with just the regular plan, where we can create our buckets, we put in our tasks, we assign it. It's got a lot of detail that we can store. I don't always need the full process of, you know, having the dependencies and different things. But if you do have a project that you need those, we now have the capability in a lot easier, more user-friendly options. Okay. So, Alan, what do you think personally? What do you think about the new planner and Teams?
I love it. It looks great. And I can't tell you that I'm coming from a place of expertise. I have not really used Planner a lot, but I love this and I love the integration. And of course, everything is, you know, Copilot and AI. And
Yes.
it's interesting to see how that's all evolving.
And I forgot to mention this Copilot at the top right. Because I'm in the premium, I have Copilot right here available as well. Copilot, though, will be available in regular Planner, not just premium, by the end of the year, just so you know.
That's great,
So many cool things coming.
So many cool things. It just never ends, does it?
Yes.
All right, it looks like we're coming to the end of our hour here. I think we've gotten through all the questions. If anybody has any last minute questions, feel free to submit them into the Q&A. And just quickly, as we wrap up, a couple webinars on the calendar here. Upcoming Digital Transformation Series, Infrastructure with Microsoft Modern Workplace, very interesting. I'll be attending that one for sure. And our next learning series with Jolynn in August, integrating your workflow, Microsoft Outlook Planner and To-Do. Do you want to just give folks a little snippet of what exactly that is, Jolynn?
We're really going to be able to see how those applications all flow together. So when we go from one place to another, what's really happening in the background? How do we manage something from one place versus having to go, go to million places to get to something? We can actually access things from one place instead. So unbelievable what we have with the connectivity back and forth. We're going to actually do a little bit on SharePoint in that session as well. So it'll be SharePoint, Teams, Outlook, and the Planner app all in one.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. It also is going to be a little bit of workflow in there.
Yep. Yeah, the integrations and how all this stuff connects to each other is very interesting. So looking forward to that. And I don't see any other questions. Just another reminder, these webinars are recorded. So if a colleague or friend didn't get a chance to attend this, just share the link with them. They're right on the Sourcepass website. And if you have any questions about Planner or anything else, you certainly can reach out to us. If you work with the CSM, if you know who that person is, or if you even are familiar with that role, you can certainly contact them. And if you're not, you can certainly reach us at events@sourcepass.com, and we'll get your email directed to the right person, and we'll reach back out and get you some help. But Jolynn, another great session. Thank you very much, and thank you to the Sourcepass community for being here. And we'll see you at the next one.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye.